All right, welcome back to the. Oh, wait, no, welcome to the Small Town City Folk podcast, Revamped. This is like 2.0 because we've been trying to revamp it and make it a little bit more professional so that it's, so it's more appealing to the eye and it makes me feel better about what I'm doing when I'm just talking about things that don't actually matter. Today we're going to talk about Mother's Day, and we're going to, because it is Mother's Day, we're going to give our moms a call and see how they've been doing on this Mother's Day. And then we're going to talk about, since it's kind of the end of Teacher Appreciation Week, we're going to try to talk about some of our favorite teachers that we've had over the years and why they're our favorite teachers and the qualities that made them the good teachers that they were, in our opinions. And then I'll get more into the details of our updates and stuff towards the end of that. So, you know what time it is, Al?
By the way, I'm Al, and I'm his guest today.
This is Allison. I don't know how much of this episode is going to be recorded on video because my camera caps out at like half an hour, I think, or 15 minutes. One of those. That's a big difference, but we'll see which one it is in the long run. I might have to get up to see if it's still recording. When I said this was supposed to look professional, that's it. It's just supposed to look professional. This is not a professional podcast by any means. But now that we know who Allison is, we're going to start off with our go-arounds inspired by Mrs. Lindholm. That was the wheel. I didn't have it turned up. That's what I meant about not having a professional podcast, just a professional look if we have that. All right. Do you want to read the questions?
Sure.
You can start with number 4.
4?
Yeah. Don't read what my coworkers wrote.
I don't like this one.
Why? Just say it.
What is your greatest extravagance?
Probably this podcast setup.
Me too.
You don't own this. You have to choose your own.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't like this one.
It's okay. Take your time.
What's an extravagance?
It's something like, it's a luxury. What's your greatest luxury that you own? Something that you don't need to have, but you have because it makes you feel good or something.
I don't have anything luxurious.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What about all your Bath and Body Works stuff?
Okay, well, yeah, I guess that's a good one.
Yeah, that is. Okay, you can move on to the next one.
Yeah. What is your current state of mind?
That's up to interpretation, I think, as a question. But I would say that I'm pretty hot.
I feel very blank right now.
I feel like Chevy Chase looks.
Ew.
That's not good.
I just feel empty.
Yeah.
What do you consider the most overrated virtue? These are all stupid questions.
Hey, Mrs. Lindholm gave me that book, you jerk.
Okay, well, I'm not bashing the whole book.
I know. Some of the questions are hard. That doesn't mean they're bad.
They're just too deep. I don't like it.
That's how this book establishes who the real one is.
Can I pick one that's like more fun?
Fine. Destroy the fabric of this entire show and choose a question that we'll have to that we'll get to in a future episode and be like, don't we answer this question already?
Here's a good one. Do you throw bread for the ducks?
I tried once. My grandma Leola, who lived across the field from us, she lived alone, and me and my friend went over to see if we could borrow some bread to throw to the ducks. Mm-hmm. And we went there and we talked to her for 4 hours and didn't leave with a loaf of bread. She just liked to talk that much. And you couldn't get away because she was so nice.
I used to, but ever since I found out it is bad for their tummies, I stopped.
Yeah. Well, that's probably good.
Yeah. You should turn your microphone so it's not just aiming at your cheek because you cut out sometimes.
Okay. Thank you, Technician Allison.
There you go. Plus, when you look at the camera, then it really cuts out.
Hello?
No, not like that.
Okay. Well,
Huh. You know, some of these are good. I don't know why we have to go in order.
okay. Well, if you're gonna answer a question, at least put an X by it so we know in the future that we've already done it.
Okay, what was that one? Oh, here.
You know what? Just pick another one for good measure.
Okay.
Make it snappy though. We don't got all day.
Okay.
Hurry.
Okay. What would you do if you came face to face with a huntsman spider?
Huntsman spider.
What is that?
That's like those big spiders. I don't know if they're. I don't think they're venomous. But I saw a video on Facebook just recently where an Australian guy was talking on the phone in his car, and a huntsman spider ran across his windshield, and it was like that big, and it scared
Ew.
the crap out of him. They're huge.
I'd probably faint.
I would probably do a 180. That's kind of what happens if my body thinks it's in some kind of danger or an animal is too big. I kind of just jump and do a 180 and run the other way before my brain can even react to what I'm seeing. My body is already taking care of the situation and evacuating.
Okay, I'm not gonna read any more of these because
Okay.
I'm gonna.
Did
But I
that,
X'd out that one, so.
did that get you? Um,
I'm a little bit more satisfied now.
that
Yeah.
loosen your lips?
Yeah. I guess.
Okay, so, as we know, it is Mother's Day, and I haven't called my mom yet, and it's like 8:00.
Well, my mom asked me to remind my brother to tell her Happy Mother's Day.
Well, I was gonna call my mom beforehand because I didn't want her to think that I was only calling her before the podcast.
Yeah.
But I was like, she gets it. So
Okay.
we're gonna call our moms here after we tell a couple stories
Yeah.
about why we love them, and every point that we've made here is the only reasons we love our mom.
That's not true, you idiot.
No, I'm kidding. These
No,
are just a few.
This is just a little taste of what our moms are like.
Yeah.
So I guess about my mom, she's really dorky, but she's like the nicest person that one could ever meet. Like she's Jesus too.
Yeah. She's pretty huggable.
Okay, well, anyway, her dorky side goes along with this story. She was driving me. It was late at night. I could understand because she was tired, but I had a Hershey's chocolate bar sitting on the cup holders, and she hit the brakes or something, and it fell off. And she's like, "Oh, I'll get it." She picks it up and hands it to me. She's like, "Here's your hamburger." And then I look at her, and she's just like, "Oh, hamburger." She starts laughing.
She had hamburgers on the mind.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, she's
Late night
funny.
hamburgers. I can see how that would be if you're driving. You're passing a bunch of fast food restaurants, and you're just like, oh,
But she didn't work at a
if I
fast
had a
food.
hamburger, I could probably make it the rest of this drive. That's
Yeah.
my first thing on there.
This
Oh,
one.
yeah.
Okay.
Little testament to my mom's heroism. Heroinism? Not like the drug, but you know how a female hero is a hero?
It's heroism, I think.
Yeah,
It's
heroism.
not heroinism.
No, I know, but I'm saying she's a woman, so she's a heroine.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anyway, when I was a wee boy, I made a video about this whole situation before, but apparently memory is weird, and I got a couple details wrong, but I'm not going to get into the huge details of it. Long story short, I woke up in the middle of the night with bloody nose, called my mom. She's not a perfect mom. I had to call about 5 times, and she didn't come, so I had to drag me and my busted leg that was filled with infectious fluid to my mom's room to wake her up, which is fine. She's got to sleep too. But I woke her up. She brought me to the hospital after some nap time. And then she carried my chubby 9th grade butt into the hospital, and she was there.
I thought
with
you
me.
were a pretty skinny kid.
I don't know if I was skinny at this time.
Oh.
I might have been. 4th grade is pretty young, so I think I might have been skinny. I can't tell though. I can't remember. Either way,
You can't tell.
I can't tell from pictures I've seen. I can't tell. But she carried me in there, which I thought was nice. You know, if you wanted to look at, if you looked up like a Google image of hero moms, you'd see my mom like carrying me into the hospital in slow motion.
My
Like,
mom carried me
explosion
to the
behind her.
doctor, and I almost threw up on her back. She's like, "You're not gonna throw up on my back, right?" I'm like, "Oh."
Mom, I flew up on your back.
That's funny because when I was little, I was like really, really afraid of people throwing up next to me.
Mm-hmm.
And at my old house, my bedroom was right across the bathroom,
Mm-hmm.
like the kids' bathroom. So me and Caleb were pretty young, but he had a room um, separately from mine. And then it was like late at night, and my door was open a crack because I don't know, I liked the dark, but I liked a little bit of light. And I remember Caleb getting up to go throw up, and I heard the sound of him throwing up on the floor,
Ew.
and I was just like, like, like really grossed out. But I could hear, I could hear Caleb be like, "Mom, I'm sorry," and she's like, "It's okay." She just was so unhappy with him, but he's like a little kid who threw up right before he got to the toilet.
Mm.
So she was not happy.
That's
but
what moms are for.
it was just like, "Mom, I food up."
I followed up. Mom, I followed up 2 feet from the toilet.
That's literally how it was.
I tried to swallow it, but it come out.
Well, no, I could remember. It was just like traumatizing. I hated vomit. Like, sorry, Mom. He actually like talked like that too. Sorry, Caleb, if you're listening, but he did talk dumb when he was little.
Classic Caleb.
Mm-hmm.
Was that your story? Your second mom story?
Yeah.
Oh, really? What's mine? What's my next?
Uh,
Oh yeah. I had an amazing dog when I was a kid, and his name was Buddy, and he was a stray. My dad found him walking around some bar, I think, and my dad scooped him up because it didn't look too well, and brought him home, and he was the sweetest dog in the world. You could tell that he was abused though by whoever had him before. Maybe that's why he was a stray. He had like BBs under his skin. You could feel them. So someone had like shot or an air gun at him, and but he was really sweet still. He wasn't like afraid of humans.
that's
And
surprising. I would be.
he knew a couple tricks and stuff, and he was very lovable. And I wasn't even going to tell this part of the story, but it just kind of came into my mind. Once he got sick, he started to die when he was a little bit older, and I found him. He tried to run away, to go die in the woods, and I found him in the ditch. He couldn't quite make it to the woods, so I carried him back to the house, and I sat there on the floor with him, and I don't know how old I was, but I was just bawling, and I remember my mom was sitting on the floor next to me, comforting me, and that meant a lot. And then I don't know how much time passed, but some time passed, and Buddy had passed away. One day he just went off into the woods and died, and we didn't see him again. And some time had passed, and my mom came home, and oh my gosh, she was so annoying. She came into the house and she starts like yelling at me for something. And she's like, "You need to clean up the car. Like, you have such a mess in the car." And I knew for a fact I didn't have a mess in the car. So I was just like, "Oh my God, this is so annoying. I'm going to humor her and go out to the car and show her that whatever's in there isn't my mess." And then she opens the door for me. And then she like steps back and she's like, look how messy it is in there." And I looked in, and there was a kennel in there, and my dog Sheila, she was in there. And I kind of just froze there when I saw it. And she was taking a video of me from a distance, hoping to get
Oh,
a
I want
video
to
of
see
me.
the video.
I don't know if she still has it. She was hoping to get
She
a video
better.
of me crying. And I kind of saw that through the window, and I knew she was trying to do that. And I started like tearing up when I saw the dog. And but I also knew that she was recording me, so I was like, I sucked the tears back into my eyes. And I told her thank you and stuff, and
That's cute.
it was a really nice moment.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Mom. Thanks for the pup, Mom. My mom, I'd say like that's really nice. One of the nicest things my mom has done was probably like a few months ago when I wasn't really doing so well, like living on my own for the first time, and I was just really like lonesome, and it was just different for me, and I was just having a really hard time. And so I texted her, and she, without even like a warning, she just, all right, well, I'm coming to visit you, little over 2 hours away. And she came just to come see if I was okay, and we got KFC and stuff, and then she went home like a few hours later. But it was just like the nicest thing ever. She just like, and I think it's like a big deal for me because my mom isn't the type of person to like spontaneously do stuff like that. You know, she's got all the younger kids and stuff like that, but she was just like, all right, well, I'm coming to see you now. So
Yeah.
it
Yeah, that was
just, like,
nice.
the
I remember
sweetest
that
thing.
day. I think was I at work? Did I come home from work?
I think so.
And
yeah.
then your mom was there, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
Julie's here.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we give him a call, or do you think we should?
You want to do the
not
rest of
let
our
him-
stories, or?
Well, I only have another little short story.
Well, yeah, we could tell our moms these stories.
Yeah, I could just be like, remember this. She's not gonna answer.
Hello?
Hi, Mom. Mom?
Hello?
She
Hello?
can't hear us.
Julie?
Hi.
Hi.
Can you hear us?
Hello?
Hi.
Can you hear us?
I can.
Okay. Well, okay, right now you're on our podcast.
Oh, hello.
We weren't sure if it was going to work there
Yeah.
for a second.
You're like, hello. Welcome to our podcast. It's our special Mother's Day podcast.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. How was your day today?
It was pretty good, pretty uneventful.
Yeah. Well, we were just telling stories about our mothers. And I was gonna actually I'm actually curious to see if you remember the story of when Caleb was really little and he threw up on the bathroom floor, really right next to the toilet. And I remember hearing you sigh, and you sounded really mad, and you're like, it's okay.
I don't remember.
You don't?
No, there's been a lot of times vomit landed on the floor right next to the toilet.
Oh.
That's
Oh.
funny.
Well, that one was like traumatizing to me. So
Yeah. We just wanted to call and say we appreciate you.
And say what?
That we appreciate you.
Well, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
thanks for being a mom and not aborting me.
Oh.
Well, it was my pleasure.
Out of wedlock.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And I love you both very much. I'm very proud of both of you.
Thank you.
Oh,
We love you
we
too.
love you.
You have a good rest of your Mother's Day, Julie.
Yeah, thank you. You guys have a good night.
Mm-hmm.
You
Love
too.
you.
Love you too.
too.
Bye.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
That was nice. That was
Yeah.
our first call-in guest.
Yeah.
Your mom.
I was worried that was not gonna work.
Yeah, me too. When she started saying hello.
She's like, hello?
But I think it's because she's got the same phone as you. And whenever we try to
Oh,
call, there's like
yeah.
a whole minute of
Yeah,
you
that's
going,
right.
hello? Hello?
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, huh?
I go like hello and wait like 10 minutes, and you're just like hello, hello, hello,
Yeah,
hello.
because I don't want to waste any time. I want you to start talking
You're
to
like,
me right
yeah.
when you know.
You're like, yeah, hello.
Sometimes just if you call me while we're in the same house, I'll say hello really loud so you know that I got the call, but I'm just
Mhm.
not through yet.
All right.
I
Next
suppose that means
caller.
I gotta call my mom. She just posted on Facebook, so she should answer.
I'm surprised my mom answered.
Yeah,
I
that
would
was
say
really sweet.
I would say 50%, exactly 50% of the time, my mom answers.
Yeah. All right. Calling me mom.
Did you save my mom's contact?
No. But I will.
Okay.
Now's not the time. Let me do the talking, okay?
Hello. What are you doing?
I was gonna call and say Happy Mother's Day, but just so you know, this is on the podcast.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna call you earlier, so you wouldn't think that I was just calling you because it's on the podcast and say Happy Mother's Day. But then I was like, nah, you'll understand.
I was
So.
just gonna message you and make sure you didn't like die in a car crash.
No,
I
well,
hadn't heard from you.
yeah, no. It's been a full day. How's your Mother's Day been?
It's been really good.
That's good. Yeah, we were just gonna call and say that we appreciate you, and we are big fans of your work, especially me.
Oh my gosh.
But
Yes,
Especially
Tyler,
me.
you're my masterpiece.
yeah, we were talking about how you carried me into the hospital, how you got me Sheila, and then I was gonna talk about how you drove me to the hospital when I cut my hand open, and you could smell my hand meat, but we were like, oh, we'll just call her and we'll just tell her about it then.
What's an embarrassing story about Tyler?
Oh,
There's way too many.
that's probably true. I can handle that question if you can't, Mom.
You can handle that question if I
Yeah.
can't.
Unless you got a banger.
I don't know. You kind of have me on the spot. There was that phase you went through where you wore underwear on your head all the time.
That's true. We have photo evidence of that.
We do. Underwear on your head and a green mask, if I remember right.
Yep, next to Uncle
That
Roger.
was your costume. Yeah. Tyler could fall asleep anywhere, like standing up.
Oh, I remember that.
We got home from somewhere once, and he was like 3, and we stood him up in the yard, and he was sleeping. And our dog that we had then was like so freaked out about it. She was just growling at him.
That's so cute.
Yeah, she couldn't figure out, like, not out of like being mean, but like scared. She's like growling at him.
That's funny.
That's cute.
So, yeah, dresser drawers. We find you in dresser drawers.
Oh yeah, didn't you guys almost call the police once?
Yeah.
Because
and you were just in your closet in your dresser drawer sleeping.
That's funny.
Didn't you say you fell asleep up on Dante's, like on top of his dresser?
Yeah, I didn't mean to, but I did. I ended up doing that. I can't do that anymore.
Yeah, I could not. I can't even fall asleep correctly in a car.
But yeah, thanks for being alive so that I can be alive. And
Happy Mother's Day.
So on and so forth. Yeah, Happy Mother's Day. I guess I haven't really officially said Happy Mother's Day yet.
Thanks for being on the show without consent.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah, very good guest, Mom. Thank you for dropping in. Thanks for being the second official guest on the podcast, Mom.
Yay! Yay me.
Congrats.
Well, I'm glad I heard from you because, like I said, I thought you were dead since you hadn't called me yet.
Yeah, and if this isn't good enough, I can call you again after the podcast, too.
No, this is just fine.
Okay.
This is just fine.
Well, have a good rest of your Mother's Day.
You guys have a good night. I love you.
Love you too. Bye.
I love you so much. I love you so much.
I love you too.
I love you too so much.
Okay.
I pray for you every day.
Okay.
Love you. Bye.
Thank you.
All right.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye.
Ugh.
Such a chatterbox.
No, that was fun.
Yeah.
That
cute.
Recharged me. All right. If you want to take a short break to get some more liquids in us and make sure that the old camera is still rolling, we can do that really quick.
That's probably a good idea. I ran out of tea.
All right, guys. We're going to be right back. Listen to these jams while we hydrate.
And pee.
Yes. Pee hydrate. All right, so
we're back from our break.
Yes, I realized I forgot to turn on one of my little lights here, and I don't know if it's gonna make a big difference. Over the episodes, we'll probably notice some things changing, some things maybe being added or taken away as we try to figure out what the heck we're doing here. So don't be surprised if things change here and there. So turn this light on. But we're coming off the heels of Teacher Week. I don't know if it was Teacher Day or
Teacher appreciation something.
I don't know. But one thing I do know is teachers should have teacher appreciation every day. So we might be late to the party, but we still wanted to highlight some of our favorite teachers and say a little bit of why we like them so much. And Allison is going to talk about a lot of teachers. I would have talked about these same teachers, but I didn't want to reiterate the obvious points that Allison's going to go over. So,
by the way, these teachers are from our high school years, so
yeah, honestly, hate to say it, but I didn't really come across a whole lot of teachers in my college time that made the cut.
Well, I just feel like my college professors all were just like, all right, I'm here for the class. All right, bye. I never really met you. You know, whereas my
class sizes
since
were
we
larger.
came from a small school, we got to know the teachers a little bit better, and they got to know us a lot more, and it was just a lot more
personal,
right?
Yeah. All right, you wanna kick it off?
Sure. So, I did have a few teachers that I had in mind that were like, good.
Yeah.
But these ones were exceptional.
A+ teachers.
Yes. So first of all, Miss Lindholm.
Yes.
She's also the one who gave us our go around book to help us with our intros and start off the conversations.
Yeah. Very nice woman.
Thank you. She is super, super, super sweet. She
sweeter than your mom.
Sorry. Miss Lindholm's Jesus 3.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but we had a couple of parties like at her house and stuff, and she's just the nicest host.
Yeah,
and
we invited ourselves.
We kind of did. Sorry about that.
Let that be clear.
Yeah. But I don't know. She's just a sweet girl. And we had how many years did we have her for? Like 3 maybe.
I don't know.
That was like towards the end of high school.
Too many good years to count.
Yeah.
We had a lot of good times at the get-togethers that we'd have.
Yeah. My other teachers include Barb.
Mm-hmm.
She was my 8th grade. Well, I guess she wasn't really necessarily a teacher, but she was part of the Pine River Baptist staff. And when I used to be best friends with Courtney, I mean, we're still good friends, but she was like so fun. Like, I don't know. It was almost like she favored us over everyone. And I guess that's kind of a bad thing to say, but she was just, I don't know. She was just like really fun.
I bet there was a lot of students that thought she was their favorite. You're probably just that nice.
Oh, that's not true.
Sorry, Allie. You're not special.
And then another one would be Madame, aka Miss Lindquist.
Yes.
She is also a really good mother, so Teacher Appreciation Day and Mother's Day.
Miss Lindholm's a mom too.
She is, and she's a good mother.
Yes, she is. And I think that also plays into why there's such good teachers too.
Yeah, I think so. Like they have a lot of patience with children.
Which half of our class is and
yeah,
was.
And high school students really can be mature in some ways where they still love us.
Yeah, it's cool that they can see our friends, maybe me and maybe you too, do really stupid things and not just write them off as a stupid person, you know?
Yeah.
And
like
give
they
them
see past that.
Give them that motherly kind of benefit of the doubt, and just be like, yeah, these are good kids. They're just kids.
Kind of dumb.
Yeah.
They're just stupid kids, but I still like them.
They wouldn't say that though.
No, they wouldn't. They're too nice. But yeah, Madame, she was also really, really fun. She made class seem
like a party.
Like a party, yeah.
Madame went all out when it came to like
she gave us
making
candy,
the class enjoyable.
She made us dance. We got to play really competitive games.
Very engaging.
Yeah. And that's what made her a really good teacher.
Yeah.
Miss Lindholm was a good teacher because you could tell how much she cared about her students. Madame was a good teacher because of the way she engaged with the students.
I've been in classes where I was an expert student in the way that I could forget that I was in class very easily and go about my own thoughts and just kind of tune out the whole class.
Yeah.
Not in a good way, but in Madame's class, it was very difficult to tune out that class. You were constantly like engaged in the best way. And it wasn't like I didn't want to be engaged. It was
right.
It was like I was engaged and I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm. I also really liked like the subject, you know, like her teaching French, but I also like that she added like in history and stuff.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of I love like history and that kind of cultural stuff. I love when she said stuff is different and interesting because I totally believe that.
Yeah, and not weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a good.
So yeah, those are why I think they
picks.
are good teachers.
Yeah. Well,
Pine River Baptist is lucky to have them.
Yes, that's true. Like I said, I would have talked about Allison's people too. I just didn't want to reiterate the same points that Allison made. Sorry, my throat is messed up. my picks, the people that I chose on this list are a few of the many good teachers that I've had over the years. In no particular order here either. We're not trying to rank the teachers. We're trying to appreciate them.
We're just trying to point out what the things that they do, why they're good.
Yeah.
And why Pine River Baptist should
give them a raise.
Should give them a raise and look for people just like them.
Yes, that's a good
hire more people like them.
Well, my first pick was my second band teacher, Mr. Bunio. And he was a short little nerd of a band teacher. But he was like, out of all the band teachers that I had, I think I could feel that he cared for my success in his class. He was, even though I was a terrible student all around, he would constantly be reminding me about lessons that I'd have to go to, or even if I was totally in the class just because, I was just going to sit there and listen to the beautiful music everyone else was making and I wasn't going to contribute. He could look past that and still find the very few good things that I was doing and then relay them back to me, and at that point I would feel like I want to learn more, I think when I first joined band, I had another music teacher, and his name was Mr. Marsalik, which was another great teacher, but it's not his fault that I didn't really take a grasp at it because I was so young at that time. I was in like 5th grade that I was just like, yeah, band seems cool. I get to make really loud noise on this instrument. It wasn't until I got Bunio that I kind of realized that it was something that I actually wanted to learn. And he definitely helped, bolster my enthusiasm for learning the trumpet more than I think anyone else could have, with like really good insight. And I don't know if did you ever have Bunio?
Yeah, I did for a while.
What did you play?
Oboe.
Yeah. I was a very sarcastic student, and we were doing this assignment where we had to write about how we're going to improve or how we've been doing it. I can't remember the specifics of the assignment, but I basically said, oh, yeah, I haven't been doing anything too amazing. And he had written a response when he handed our papers back on there that was inspiring to me. So I actually kept it in my locker so that it said something like something about doing something amazing. It was more inspirational than that. I can't remember what it was at this point, but it was inspiring to me. So I would look at it on occasion and be reminded that at least, someone thinks that I can do it. But my next pick would be Mr. DeMars. He was our math teacher. When you think of a good teacher, Mr. DeMars would be like, it would say Mr. DeMars if you looked up good teacher in the dictionary. He's like a textbook good teacher. He can teach all sorts of different students, and you can tell that he actually cares about the students that he's teaching. You had Mr. DeMars too, right?
Loved him.
Hmm. Yeah, he could. If you didn't understand a math problem or something, he could explain it 3 different ways until you could figure it out. And he was very good at just explaining it right off the bat. I had a lot of teachers, maybe not a lot of teachers, but I've had teachers in the past where they can explain something and right off the bat, I don't understand what they're talking about. 9 times out of 10, if Mr. DeMars explained something, I would understand it. And if I didn't, like I said, he can explain it 3 different ways to get you to understand it. So that was really appreciated. That made doing homework and everything else a lot easier. Who was my last pick down there?
Moen.
Don Moen. I think he's retired now, but he was another just textbook good teacher. He had a lot of experience in his field that he was teaching beforehand, so he had like real life. It was human biology, and he had experience as like a medic or something like that, and he knew what he was talking about. Just like DeMars, when he explained it, you could understand it. And he was just really good. He was really personable with people. So if you were talking to him, it would just be like talking with any other person. You didn't get that teacher disconnect that students can have sometimes. This is someone that's telling me what to do, and then I have to do what they say. It was more like this person cares about where I'm going to end up, and this is what he's telling me to do to make the most out of or get to where I need to end up in a good way.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you know who else was like super, super, super kind at PRB? I loved her. It was Nancy from the high school office. She retired.
Yeah.
She retired right after we graduated, which is fine because I got to have my senior year with her. But she's so nice. I love you, Nancy.
Yeah. Those people are really good because they're on the front lines basically of the school. They're the people you got to go through to get a visitor pass if you're not going to school, and they're the people that answer the phone when parents call to lie about how sick their kid is and they can't come into school.
Mm-hmm. Well, that and like when I went to the chiropractor all the time, I felt so bad because of how many times she had to write me a late pass. But
oh man,
she's still just such a nice lady. Even though I know I felt bad and stuff, but she didn't make me feel bad about it.
They have this weird power because they're like some of the nicest people in that office, but when they call your name over the intercom and tell you to come to the office, they can instill so much fear in you, even though they have no malicious intent whatsoever. You're like, what did I do?
Yeah. Actually, I was always excited when I was called to the office, usually.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, I got flowers or something. Sometimes that would happen.
It was always, I never got flowers that I know of, but it was always exciting. It was kind of like, I guess it's kind of like what people feel when they gamble.
I get an adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
Allison, please come to the office. Woo!
Yeah, it's like, oh, somebody found this notebook in the hallway and it has your name on it. I'm like,
that's
it. I appreciate all these teachers here.
Mm-hmm.
And
I appreciate more. These are just the ones I picked.
Yeah, these are our top, no, that sounds like we're ranking them again.
Our top.
These are the OGs.
Yeah, I guess.
That sounds better.
Okay.
These are shining examples of teachers. Yeah. That's a good way to say it.
So
that kind of brings us down to the end of the show. We're going to talk a little bit more. We're going to talk a little bit more about our new setup that we have going on. Now we don't have just blue snowball microphones, which aren't bad. And I am a big believer in the idea of Did Ezra just make a weird noise?
Yeah, I think he's dreaming.
Oh.
He's like, meow.
I'm a big believer in the fact that you can do anything with very little, so you don't need an awesome camera or awesome microphones and stuff. But I also was at a point where I wanted to do that kind of stuff. I wanted to have the established setup so that I could count on, like I said. So I know at this point, if the podcast sucks, if my videos suck, then it's my fault. It's my personality that just sucks. So we got this Rodecaster, which has been it's been a delight to use. Wouldn't you say, Al?
Oh yeah, we've got many different sound effects we can use. We can even do like custom ones. As you heard before, we do have the calling feature where we can call other people and they can call us.
That's my favorite.
We can have actually a podcast set up with other people if we had more microphones and stuff. So we might actually have a few more people join once the coronavirus is all said and done.
Yeah.
We've got new art made by the one and only Tyler.
That's true.
Also, the intro music.
Oh, yeah.
You heard that is also made by Tyler.
I forgot. Because well, the Rodecaster, I ordered it just before Passover started, and the company that supplied this was not in business during Passover, and I missed it by like a couple hours, and I had to wait the entire the event of Passover, and then even then, once I got it, I had a bunch of just financial detail stuff that was wrong that I had to correct. That took a long time. So this thing took like a month to get here, and I was like, what do I do? What do I do until it gets here? I gotta like keep myself busy. So I know you can't really see the logo on the back wall if you're watching the video portion of this, because this is a small room. You can see I can touch the ceiling either way, and it's hard to fit a light and a camera in the same space, and so the light is basically pointing straight at the poster, so you can't really see it. I'm gonna try to figure that out in the future, but we have it on the mugs here too, and
so a lot of changes have been made. Hopefully, good changes.
I hope so too, because I can't tell if I'm like Ben from Parks and Rec, where I had so much time to do nothing that I was just like in this weird state where I was like, what? Where I was like, I got a good idea. I'm gonna do something creative. I'm gonna make a song, and then it comes out like crap, which happened. The first song that I made for the intro, I'm not a musician, even though I played the trumpet. I am not a musician, but I have Logic.
I still think the song sounds pretty good.
Thanks. And I have a MIDI keyboard. So I was like, I'm just going to mess around and see if I can't figure something out. The first song I came up with was not good. Sounds like elevator music. Maybe we can play that for you at a later date. And so I was discouraged, but not disheartened. And I let some time pass, and I tried it again. And I was like, what? It's going to be fun either way, trying to figure it out. So that's when I came up with this thing. It's really basic, but I think it works, and it kind of brings that energy that I want.
I think it's a lot happier than the other one.
Yeah, the other one that wasn't like depressing or anything, but
it's just very like boring.
Yeah, I think so.
Well,
I can criticize it.
I'm the one who called it elevator music.
Yeah.
You agree with that?
Yeah, I really appreciated that. Al, I really appreciate your constructive criticisms of calling it elevator music.
Well, if I didn't say anything, we'd be using that song right now.
No, we would not, because even after I made it, I was like, I can't tell if I hate it because I made it or if I hate it because it sucks. And turns out I hated it because it sucks. Because then I made this one, and I don't hate this one.
Yeah.
It's not the best thing in the world, but I don't hate it. And I same thing with the art is it's not extraordinary art. I'm not an artist, but it's unique to the podcast at least now, you know. And I don't the main reason I made an intro from scratch was so I didn't have to license an intro anymore. Not hard to do, but pain in the butt to do every single time you make a podcast, because the licenses are only good for one use, so you have to relicense them for every project you use them on. And I didn't want to do that anymore because this is easy, and now I have it programmed into the board, and I can just do it like this. Anytime I want the intro, I can play as many times as I want.
Yeah, so hopefully the updates kind of.
Yeah, hopefully it sounds noticeably better.
Yeah.
That is the thing that I was hoping the most for. I'm going to try to put these things on like Spotify and stuff in the future. We'll just see how this one goes, and it takes some approval time, so we'll see how that goes. I don't know when that'll happen, but I will tell whoever cares when it happens. What are you pointing at?
Well, I want to do the meat merp.
Oh, you want to do meat merp?
Yeah.
This is Allison and I's like favorite button.
Meat merp.
Turn it up. Turn it up.
Meat merp.
Do you want to show them some other buttons, or should we keep it a secret?
We gotta wait until it's the right time.
Okay. Yeah.
Meat merp you can use anytime.
Yeah.
Meat merp.
I like that one.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's pretty much all the time we have today. Actually, we have all the time in the world, but that's just all we care to say today.
Yeah.
We got nothing else to
So
talk about.
make sure you tell your mom, your grandma, any mom that you know and care for that you appreciate and love them.
Yeah.
I'm not a mom, but I couldn't imagine it being easy.
Yeah. I can't imagine it'd be that hard.
So, yeah. Happy Mother's Day to you moms.
Happy Mother's Day.
And we will just make another podcast soon, and
Yeah.
it'll be a surprise.
Yeah. We'll talk to you guys later, and have a good Mother's Day. And I always end these outros with the word and I have to stop doing that because my brain's like, you got to come up with a good way to end it, and then I say something and then I end it with and my brain's like, oh, you got to think something else now. But we're
Our
done
intros,
talking.
This is what Small Town City Folk is going to be known for. Great intros, terrible outros. Let's just say goodbye and done with it.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Goodbye. Oh, shoot.
You pushed the wrong one, you idiot.
I do that every time. Oh, my God. Okay. This is
All right.
for real now. 3, 2, 1. Goodbye.
Goodbye.